Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing Ella's 4-month update. I can't believe I'm doing this update already. I know I've said it every single time, but time is just going so quickly. But if you are new around here, then hello, my name is Sarah-Jayne. I have a baby girl called Ella, as I've just said. She is 4 months old, as I've also just said. And I share things to do with all different aspects of my life, from home things, cleaning videos. I've just put up a routine and I want to do more of those routine videos. So if you like anything like that, then please make sure you subscribe and I would love to have you around. So first of all, I just want to start off by saying that Ella is doing absolutely fantastic. I can't believe how quick she's coming on with different things. She is talking a lot more. Obviously when I say talking, it's just more babbling. She will really try and use her voice in different ways, and she can be really quite loud with it as well, but it's really fun to watch her trying to make different sounds, and she can obviously hear her own voice and she's trying to figure it out. So yeah, she's definitely making a lot more noises rather than just crying. Yeah, it's just really cute. She's also super smiley at the moment, which is adorable. For quite a long time, when she woke up in the morning, she would instantly wake up and just start crying because she was hungry. But I found that gradually, especially over the last probably 6 weeks, she's waking up and as soon as she sees us, she is just smiling. It's just the most adorable thing to wake up and see this smiling baby. She has also started having a bit of a play, so I'll change her nappy and have a play with her before I actually feed her in the morning, and I do think that has kind of helped get her out of the routine of waking up and just crying for her food straight away. Whether or not it's just age or that's what babies do, I don't really know, because she is my first baby. So, but that is definitely something I have found over the last 6 weeks or so. I have also found that she has a favourite song. There was a clip of it in my last video, or my routine video, where she was just listening to her little dog Violet that she's got, and it says her name. It's me and my friend Ella, and as soon as she hears the song, she's just smiling and giggling, and it's just really nice. And even when it's not her dog singing it, when it's us singing it to her, she just absolutely loves that song and instantly recognises it. So that's really nice to see. Since my last update, I have increased her feeds, as in the amount that she's getting fed. She used to have 4 7-ounce bottles a day, usually one around 7 o'clock, one around 11, one at 3, and then another one at 7. But I found that she was getting a little bit irritable, and I decided to up her feeds to 8 ounces. So again, she feeds at the same times, around 7, half 7, 11, 3, and then just before she goes to bed at 7. And I found that that really helped. When she was on 7 ounces and getting a bit irritable, I would find that she was waking up in the night a little bit more, and then as soon as I increased that feed again, she settled down a little bit. So I do definitely think that she was getting hungry. She is approaching 4.5 months now, so I am getting to the point where I'm starting to learn about weaning. I definitely think that I want to do the baby-led weaning. I've just purchased the Holly Willoughby book all about weaning your baby, because I think if you watched my baby essentials or one of my videos where I talked about the fact that I'd got her Healthy Happy Baby, I think it's called, that has literally been a bible. So I definitely wanted to get the one all to do with weaning, and I'm going to start going through that properly and having a look and learning how to wean her properly, because I do definitely think that she will be ready fairly soon. She's already watching me when I'm eating myself, or when other people are eating. She'll literally follow your knife and fork, and that's supposed to be a sign that they are getting ready for food. Here in the UK, it's recommended that you wait till 6 months before weaning. I have also heard people say it's between 4 and 6 months, but I think ultimately you've got to listen to your own instincts, and you know your baby and you know when the time is right. I personally don't feel that I'm ready to go on that journey with her just yet because I want to learn more about it, but I definitely don't think it's going to be too much longer. I think it's probably going to be around the 5.5 month mark. I mentioned sleep there as well. She has generally always been quite a good sleeper. When I put her down at night, she just settles pretty much straight away. She was waking up around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So she was waking up every hour from about 3 o'clock. Then I increased her feeds and she started sleeping through a little bit longer. She would still wake up around 5 o'clock and then again at 6, and then eventually get up at maybe 7 or 8 o'clock, which I still think is really good. I'm not too sure whether or not that was her being disturbed by us moving around or something like that, because she was in her next to me cot. So actually last Friday, so only about 5 or 6 days ago, we actually put her in her own room. Now in her room I have the baby monitor and I also have the sleep sensor, like the breathing sensor. So for me, I feel that it's safe enough for her to go in there because we do have that sensor, and I always have the monitor next to me anyway. But the first night that we put her in there, she was okay. She did wake up around perhaps about 4 o'clock and she did start to cry, but I do think that was because she was in unfamiliar surroundings. And then the next night she was absolutely fine. She just again woke up around 5 o'clock. I went in, I put a dummy in, and then she fell asleep till 7 o'clock. And then since then the other night, last night she only woke up once. I gave her a dummy, but the night before that she slept all the way through until 7 o'clock. So she's sleeping much better in there, and she seems to absolutely love her cot as well. I've taken her out of the sleepy head and she just lays in her cot in her sleep bag. And yeah, she just wiggles around, she lays with her arms wide open, and she seems to love it. So she's actually doing really well, and I feel really confident in the fact that I've got the baby monitor there, as I said, and the sleep sensor as well just gives that extra peace of mind. Again, here in the UK they don't recommend that you put them in their own bed until they're around 6 months. But again, you've just got to use your instincts. I felt like this was right for her, right for us. We're getting more sleep. I'm certainly getting more sleep. My husband tended to sleep through anyway, but I would literally wake up with any movement that she had. So I do think it's better all round, and I think it's a really good decision that we've made. Some people might not necessarily agree with it, but again, it's all down to the individual. I've been saying this for a while, but she is definitely teething. She is just drooling so much. Her cheeks are really quite red, and she has on some days been a little bit agitated. I do think it's from these teeth coming through. I do have some teething toys, ones that go in the fridge so that when she chews on them they are nice and cold on her gums, but definitely anything that she gets, they go straight in her mouth and she really chews down on them. So she's definitely teething. It must be so awful for them, bless them, but I have been using the Ashton and Parsons powder, which you use half of the sachet in the morning, half of the sachet at night, and that seems to be doing well. I was also kindly given by a follower on Instagram called Heather an amber bracelet. She had been wearing that, but I took it off last Friday because we went swimming, and I'll get to that in just a minute. We went swimming for the first time and I put it in the bag and I just completely forgot to put it on. And I don't know whether it's just me thinking too much into it, but she has been a bit niggly since then, so I definitely need to put that back on because maybe it is helping. But apparently there's something in the amber that really helps with the teething, and it's healing. I don't know quite how it works, but apparently it does. So yeah, as I just mentioned, We went swimming for the first time last week and she absolutely loved it. She was so good. She didn't cry. She wasn't fazed by the water. Yeah, it's just a really good experience. I'm going to be going every week. It's not actually on this week with it being half term, but it's going to start back up again next week. I go to the Water Babies, which is at various locations throughout the UK. It can be quite expensive. It's £150 for 10 lessons, I believe. But for me, it's more about teaching me how to teach her to swim. So once I get those skills, I think I'll be more confident to take her swimming on my own. Also last week seemed to be a big week for her, bless her. She had her jabs or her immunisations, as somebody pointed out to me the other day. There's a difference in the word jabs in the UK and the US. So her immunisations, this was her third set that she's had, and she won't have any more until she's about 1, I think. She's been really good through the first set and the second set, but after the third set she did seem to be a little bit more cranky, and I also found that she was off her feed a little bit for 4 or 5 days. Now I did ask around and people kind of said it's probably more to do with growth spurts and leaps, so the Wonder Weeks leaps. So yeah, I think because everything was happening at the same time, it just kind of put her off her food a little bit, and she wasn't quite drinking all that 8 ounces. But she is very well and truly back on those 8 ounces now. I've also noticed in the last week she has been taking longer naps through the day. So she'll tend to have a half an hour nap in the morning, maybe an hour to an hour and a half after she's woken up. Then she'll have a longer nap, and these have been maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, midday, and then she'll have a shorter nap later, and then she's sleeping all the way through the night. So she seems to be getting in a little bit more of a routine with her daytime naps as well, which is good because it kind of gives me a bit of chance to get a few bits done, to be honest. So yeah, I think that's all I've got to update you on in terms of Ella. In terms of how I'm getting on, I'm doing really well. My stitches or my war wound seems to have healed really well down below. It might be TMI for you, but it did surprise me how long that felt sore for. So around the 4-month mark has been a bit of a turning point, and it doesn't bother me pretty much at all anymore, which is really good. I'm now at the point where I feel like I need to get into shape a little bit more. I don't want to put pressure on myself, but I want to start making more healthy choices with what foods I'm eating and what kind of exercise I'm taking, because when I feel like I'm doing something good for my body, I feel happier and healthier, which most people do. But I definitely got into a routine of just having all the sugar, all the caffeine, anything that was around, and just being really unkind to my body. So that is something that I'm working on now, and I have actually lost I think 8 or 9 pounds since January, so I'm really pleased with that. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is lady time, that time of the month. I thought that my periods would start back up within 6 weeks of having a baby, or maybe 6 weeks of breastfeeding, and they actually only started again around 3.5 month mark. So that took a little bit longer than what I expected, but I guess it's just everybody's different and their body will get back into their rhythm quite naturally. Can't say as I've missed them, but it does feel good to get that rhythm back to my body as well. And who knows, it could be the fact that I've been trying to eat a little bit healthier, cutting out more of the sugar or more of the caffeine, that my body's been able to get back to that point. So that is Ella's 4-month update and a bit of a postpartum update for me as well. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with all of my latest videos. Also click that bell button because that will notify you of new videos when they're posted. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you again next time. Bye!